Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Big D is live this Wednesday afternoon as we preview Week Two's showdown between the Cleveland Browns and my Jacksonville Jaguars. Before I bring in Yvette, please subscribe, like, and share the Driving to the Top Productions and the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. Also, check out the Big D podcast on Spotify and Apple. And by the way, on this day, we remember the 2,977 innocent lives lost at the World Trade Center, Pentagon, and that Pennsylvania field on 9/11. So you always in our thoughts. So joining us from the home of the rock and roll, Yvette. So, Yvette, um, Week 2 showdown between the Browns and Jags. Hopefully it goes better than Week 1, right?
I hope so. I don't know if it can be much worse, Dylan, but let's hope it's a lot better.
Well, I mean, at first it looked pretty decent for my Jags. We're up 17-7, and then Travis Etienne was this close to scoring a touchdown before Javon Holland did his best Peanut Tillman impersonation. And then next play, Tyreek Hill goes 80 yards, and Miami wins 20-17. But what I noticed, especially in the second half of the game, was Jacksonville's offensive line went to.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Cleveland doesn't have a great offensive line either, so we have that as well in common.
I mean, unfortunately for your Browns, you guys didn't fare any better losing to the Dallas Cowboys 33-17 in a game that really wasn't that close. I mean, I thought CeeDee Lamb was holding out. You look like CeeDee Lamb the other day.
Yeah. So close. And I thought he was holding out. And Dak Prescott ends up getting paid right before the game. So lots of good news for them in Dallas.
Yeah, but
good motivation for them, you know.
But not good news for your quarterback because Deshaun Watson, 24-45, $169, touchdown, 2 picks, and maybe more importantly, and not good news for Cleveland, sacked 6 times.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. 6 sacks. I mean, I think it's a little bit about you don't.
You okay? What's going on? What?
I'm so sorry. Okay, my sound back?
Yep.
My sound back? Okay, sorry about that. I think it's a little bit of, we only had one game. So I think a lot of us were waiting to see what Deshaun Watson was going to look like in this first game, and it didn't look good, right? So on that side of it, you have to say he didn't get much protection. I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but the offensive line did not play that well either. 6 sacks is hard. I couldn't even imagine taking 1 sack off of one of those guys in a game. 6. Plus, he had a lot of things going on emotionally. Not another excuse, but he just lost his dad and he lost his best friend. So yeah, it's a mess in Cleveland. It's just a big hot mess.
Sorry. Why is it always a mess in Cleveland? Because it seems like Cleveland can't get its you-know-what together. I
know. I mean, that's what we're all waiting for, maybe next year. That's our famous saying. And it's already coming out this year after one game. So that's sad.
Well, I mean, looking back to that game, yes, it was the pressure, but, Deshaun was under duress, but, I've not seen the same juice from Deshaun since he arrived in Cleveland. Maybe Deshaun doesn't fit Cleveland. I don't know. Is Cleveland just like the jinx position for quarterbacks?
Well, A lot of people would like to argue that Joe Flacco did well when he came last year in Cleveland. So we don't know who to blame. It's so I wish I knew the answer. I feel even worse on myself because, I think the majority of people felt like Deshaun Watson is over. And I just wanted to ride on the side of that he wasn't, knowing that we didn't see much of him because of an injury. I was hoping that he would come back and be that quarterback he was in Houston, but we didn't even get close to that. Not even close to that. It was just one game. It takes a while, I think, for the offense, especially he didn't play at all in the preseason. So we'll see what happens next week against you guys. This is a must-win game for us.
Yeah,
how do you guys feel about that?
It's must-win for us. Can't go 0-2, right?
One of us is going to.
Unless we tie, and that won't be any fun either.
Yeah.
And the Browns have tied. Didn't the Browns tie Pittsburgh in like a week 1 game?
They did. Yes, they did.
Wasn't that the season you went 0-15-1?
Yes. It's a great memories.
Oh, yeah. But, you look at Cleveland's offensive line and not having Jedrick Wilson and Jack Conklin mattered. Do we know if either guy's playing this week?
They just released it. The new people that were playing. I don't think that they are.
And
yeah.
Oh, by the way, more bad news. It looks like David Njoku is not playing, coming back from his side ankle sprain.
Yeah. There's I'm trying to think of the other tight end. They just was listening about him.
Harrison Bryant?
There's another one that they just put on the practice squad. Colin or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the good news for Cleveland is that you've got maybe the best defensive lineman in all of football, and maybe Myles Garrett would just sack Trevor Lawrence 8 times, right?
Yeah, defense wins games, right? So let's hope that the defense didn't look bad in week 1. They didn't lose the game, I don't think. Our defense wasn't bad. So,
I mean, get pressure on Dak, but speaking of Deshaun, he signed this $230 million contract fully guaranteed in Cleveland, and looked like an odd deal because he didn't play football at all in 21. Looked like he'd be spending and dealt with more off the field issues than all the other quarterbacks put together. I mean, what's your view on Deshaun as a player?
Well, this has been something that I've been struggling with, since they decided to bring Deshaun Watson with all the allegations to Cleveland. I spoke about this. It's hard, to be a fan of a team and wanting to root for that team when there's someone on that team, that's been accused of these horrible crimes. And the NFL, I think they investigated him. He was off the 11 games and they let him back on the team. He's never been accused of anything. Now there's new allegations. I feel like as a fan base, we shouldn't even have to be in these predicaments. Or if these players have so much things against them, then why are they even in the NFL? I just feel like this shouldn't even be on us. And it sucks because we've been waiting for so long to have a team, and I don't know what I think about him, to be honest. I really don't know. It's hard to, I don't know.
I mean, I remember Deshaun win a national championship. In fact, I saw Deshaun play Baker 2015 Orange Bowl in person. And it's funny that Deshaun replaced Baker in Cleveland, but Deshaun looked like a good athlete, not a great athlete, but you could see the athletic dual threat ability. But in Cleveland, Deshaun's got nothing.
Yeah.
Contract wise, I mean, there've been some bad deals. Russell Wilson's deal in Denver was bad. Daniel Jones' deal in New York. It's Deshaun Watson's contract the worst in NFL history.
I think that it can be. If he doesn't do anything this year whatsoever, then yeah, we spent all that money and all that time. Yeah, I do. And that's the one thing, I don't understand, with this new clause in the contract, and they have this new allegation that there may be a chance that the Browns can get out of this contract and not pay Deshaun Watson his money. I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like I wish they have to pay him his money. I feel like they made that deal and they should have to pay him. I would hate to see. I mean, at one point, people are like, okay, well, then you can lose Deshaun. We can get a new quarterback and we don't have to deal with Deshaun Watson. Well, okay, that's fine. But
would you rather have Joe Flacco than Deshaun Watson right now?
I mean, Joe Flacco threw 4 interceptions in the playoffs. I don't know.
At least Joe Flacco still got an arm. I don't know what Deshaun's got.
This is true. Yeah. I mean, who's going to be the number 1 in the draft next year? Is there a lot of quarterbacks going in? I don't know.
I mean, would you rather have James Winston over Deshaun right now?
I would like to see what he could do. Absolutely. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, I'm sure they're going to start Deshaun this week. If Deshaun, puts up a performance like he did in week 1, and they put in Jameis Winston and he does good, that could save the season for us. Because not only will we have a good quarterback, he's awesome. He's so funny. Can you imagine? That would totally just turn everything around.
I mean, at least Jameis Winston will throw the ball. Sure, half those passes might be pick sixes, but at least he'll throw the ball.
Right? I know. That's a lot of the criticism they're saying about Deshaun Watson too, is that he just doesn't seem like he has that confidence, and he's just, I don't know. And now with all this other added problems, how is that going to make his mental state even more?
It's not going to help matters. I mean, you heard this. I'm guessing you heard the latest allegation against Deshaun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's won't end. It seems like,
Oh, by the way, according to Spot Track, Deshaun's got what is it, like a $72 million dead cap in 25, 26, and in 26 and 27. So Cleveland's really stuck with Deshaun, unless there's some way where maybe the NFL takes away Deshaun's contract. I mean, Cleveland can't get rid of Deshaun's contract unless they restructure, but then that would put you in salary cap, which the Browns are already in salary cap, next year.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's also got hurt because Baker Mayfield is now putting up yards and touchdowns in Tampa. Threw 4 touchdowns against the Commanders. Sure, it was against the Commanders, but can't do anything about the opponent, right?
You can't, and that's just I wish I knew why they did that, why they decided to get rid of Baker Mayfield and bring in Deshaun Watson. And I
mean, Baker won a playoff game.
He put us to the playoffs. He released the Bud Lights on Thursday night. But there was so much criticism of Baker Mayfield in Cleveland as well when he played. Now, everyone's like, bring Baker back. But I mean, I was there, when he was there, and they weren't nice to him there either. In Cleveland, wanted him gone.
Well, part of Baker Mayfield's problem in Cleveland was he was the 101. Everybody thought he'd be the savior. But in Tampa, Baker can just be a guy, and seemingly the Cleveland Browns go through more quarterbacks than race car drivers go through race cars in a career.
I know. It's horrible. I don't understand how do you think of someone like the Steelers who had Ben Roethlisberger, these franchise quarterbacks, But then when you lose them, then what happens? I mean, how often do these come?
I mean, the Green Bay Packers went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. The Cleveland Browns happened to replace Bernie Kosar. It's like Miami going 20-plus years before replacing Dan Marino.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think that would have been Baker in Cleveland? It's so hard. They coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, by the way, I've got this tweet that you sent out. I've got this tweet. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. No, wait. Sorry. Let me see if I can post the comment. No, shoot. What was the tweet that you sent out? Like 230 million?
About today that I wanted to sue for emotional distress for $230 million. That one. 240 actually.
Yeah, we all love them deals, right? $230 million and down the toilet. Hopefully Trevor Lawrence doesn't get jinxed after his deal.
Yeah. How do the fans like Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville?
I think they like him. I think sometimes the media hates Trevor because he was the chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think. Yeah. Here it is. Here's the tweet. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there. Can you sue a football team for emotional distress? Asking for a friend. I mean, you got $230 million to be reasons to be upset, right?
Yes. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, I just really wanted, they just said NFL does not plan to place Deshaun Watson on the commissioner's exempt list.
Yeah, so apparently Rashid Rice can do all his off-the-field issues, not be on the exempt list.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. But good news, at least the Browns beat the Jags last year because in Week 14, you won 31-27. Now, a lot different circumstances. First off, it's in Cleveland, and we know Cleveland December is very cold, windy, all kinds of fun weather. B, Joe Flacco was under center for the Browns. And C, Trevor Lawrence was coming off his high ankle sprain on Monday night against the Bungles, which I'm sure you love the Bengals in your neck of the woods, right?
Oh yeah, we love them. I mean, they couldn't even do one thing right for me. I picked them and I did a Survivor League. And they couldn't even win versus the Patriots. So I'm out of my Survivor League.
I picked Seattle, thank goodness.
Like, geez, oh man, yeah.
But
speaking about the Bengals, now they have America's quarterback, America's favorite quarterback in Joe Burrow, the opposite of the Browns' Ohio quarterback.
And yet, every time I see Joe Burrow hit hard, there's no penalty, but you sneeze on Mahomes and the Zebras are throwing flags and hats.
Yeah.
But thinking back to week 14 last year, I mean, the Browns got out the big lead and really controlled, I thought, large parts of the game.
Oh man, I still I couldn't even wear Cleveland Browns today. I had an Indian tat on. That is not like me. I think I'll be ready by Sunday though.
I mean,
it's like your home for you guys, right?
Yeah. I mean,
is this your home opener, or were you guys home? Okay.
Yeah, we were in Miami week 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what the weather is in your neck of the woods, but it's going to be a lot hotter in Duval County.
I'm sure.
I mean, not just warmer, but more humid, and we know northern teams struggle in Florida this time of year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is really humid. And I think it's going to be a hot week this week here too. So it's probably really hot for you guys.
Yeah, it's like 90 with a heat index of 108. I mean, you could be in the pool well, maybe not now, but you could, because it looks like it's going to rain, but you could be at the pool 24/7.
Yeah, I bet.
So what's going to be a key for this game?
I think that the key for this team is to put all the drama behind them and to just put all their efforts into the field. I think they need to like have tunnel vision and work together. Kevin Stefanski always liked to talk about football together, like everybody being part of the team, We need the defense to show up, we need the offense to show up, we need Deshaun Watson to be, they were saying halfway good. I would even say less than halfway good. I would take like 20% good at this point. Yeah.
Do you think problem for Cleveland is you could usually rely on Nick Chubb, but he's coming back from another knee injury. So is this a game? Is this a heavy Jerome Ford game, or is this maybe a heavy Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy game?
Well, I was thinking that it was going. I thought Jerry Jeudy was going to shock us in being good this year, and he did catch a touchdown in the last game. But he did drop a lot of passes too. But hopefully it is going to be Amari Cooper is one of the best wide receivers in football. It doesn't matter who his quarterback is; he's always been good. So I agree. And we don't have Dave Njoku now, so I really do. It's going to be led up to Amari Cooper.
And there's a good chance that Jacksonville's top cornerback Tyson Campbell won't play, so potentially.
Oh, that's good for us. Yeah. You gotta go.
And then offensively for the Jags, and for both teams, I think both teams are going to have to protect their quarterbacks because otherwise, Cleveland gave up 6 sacks, Jacksonville gave up 3. I think this will be a game where the Jags try and get Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk involved. Maybe a little bit of BT and Brian Thomas, the rookie from LSU. I was shocked Evan Ingram only caught 1 ball against Miami, but it seemed like all tight ends struggle. Like if you drafted an early tight end in any league, he wet the bed this week.
Yeah. I had Mark Andrews in my I don't even want to talk about that.
In my 2 main leagues, I drafted Trey McBride. Thank goodness I didn't get eliminated in my guillotine league.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't done a guillotine league. Those look so fun. But I think Mark Andrews will do better. I'm trying not to overreact over the first week. You know what I mean?
I've got Chris Olave. I've got Trey McBride. I'm trying not to overreact. But I'm like, oh boy.
Here we go.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's funny how things go. Like, who would have thought Justin Fields and the Steelers would start 1-0? Who would think that the Cincinnati Bengals would lay an anchor, an egg-sized anchor against Jacoby Brissett?
I know.
So, where can people see your content?
Awesome. Yes, you can find me. I have a website. It's at bougiesports.net. And from there, you can find all my social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Oh, and then when you're done subscribing to her, subscribe to Driving to the Top Production and the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page.
I'm going to tell everybody I know to make sure that they subscribe. I had such a great time today talking.
Thank you very much, Yvette, and hopefully this is a 45-42 classic.
Let's hope.